All right. Thank you very much.
Inside node 2, looking at the hatchway, we can see all 4 of our crew members actually suited up and ready to go. You can see Anna Kikinanen on the left, and then that's Josh Cassadawa, Nicole Mann, and then can't see him now, but Koichi Wakata there off to the right. And we've got a total of 11 to make her way across. And here's our look inside. You can see Josh Cassadawa in the pilot seat, Nicole Mann getting into the commander seat. So your commander and your pilot, they're primed for essentially doing any maneuvers, sending any commands that you need to throughout Dragon. Your 2 mission specialists that are flanking them or just helping them monitor. Everyone's essentially looking at data from the Dragon systems as it's in flight. But if you do any actual manual piloting, that's
a live view of the Dragon Endurance spacecraft as we await its departure from the International Space Station so it can make its way back to planet Earth.
A live view from inside Dragon Endurance. You've got Nicole Mann, your commander of Crew-5 on the left, and Josh Cassadawa, pilot on the right. You can see they are monitoring the crew to
All hooks open.
all hooks open. Depart burn 1 has fired. Dragon Endurance undocked 262 statute miles over
and
the Coral
Dragon
Sea.
SpaceX on the big loop, separation confirmed.
Second copies with you.
So a successful separation. Again, Dragon undocking at 1:20 a.m. Central Time, 2:20 a.m. Eastern Time, with Dragon and station flying 262 statute miles.
Station. And we are actually coming right up on Depart Burn 1, so that's what's going to take us up and over the station. But yes, it must be a little, in confirmation that...
And Dragon Houston on the big loop. Dragon has exited the keep out sphere. We wish you safe travels and looking forward to seeing you back on Earth.
Happen in about 3 minutes.
Deorbit sequence start.
And we've heard
Dragon copy.
good calls from the Corps here in Mission Control Hawthorne. That's the Mission Control room you see on your screen. To the crew, another good interior shot. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, that's Anna Kikinanen, the Roscosmos cosmonaut that has flown on Crew-5.
The deorbit burn. We're about 5 seconds away from that burn start.
Deorbit burn is underway. Again, started right on time at 5:11 p.m. Pacific.
So we can see a live view of that nose cone closing on Dragon Endurance.
So in the Dragon is currently inhibiting those forward bulkhead Draco thrusters that we just used to complete the deorbit burn. Those are inhibited now, I should say, meaning that it was safe to latch the nose cone shut. And the vehicle has initiated the nitrox suit purge.
First view of the Crew-5 crew in Dragon Endurance re-entering the Earth's atmosphere.
So this is a view from the recovery ship itself of Crew Dragon re-entering Earth's atmosphere. Of course, we still do not have communication with them because you can see that plasma buildup as they are coming through the atmosphere, that heat shield doing all of the work to ablate that heat as it builds up around the capsule. So again, as we mentioned, you see the movements here. That's the ship camera moving and continuing to track the spacecraft during re-entry. We anticipate reacquisition of signal in just a couple of minutes from now. As Kate mentioned, it can vary on when we get that timing. But great to already have a view of our 4 astronauts, or 3 astronauts and 1 cosmonaut inside.
Dragon copy.
You know, it's incredible to know that the voice we're hearing is coming from that
Wow.
gorgeous ball of light.
And all of the other little points of light you see around it, they appear to be streaking on the camera a little bit. Those are stars. Obviously, that beautiful bright light in the middle, that's Crew Dragon Endurance coming home after 157 days in space. We are standing by for drogue parachute deployment. That'll be in about 2 minutes, but we already do have acquisition of signal. That came, again, a little bit earlier than we expected. So
That's right,
it is
did.
a little hard to target sometimes.
GPS has converged. Expect nominal altitude for drogue chute deploy.
Dragon copy.
Either retrieving the capsule or helping the astronauts egress. And they are all standing by.
Brace for drogue window.
Dragon brace.
It looks like those drogue deploys are now. Yep. We got
Visual on 2 healthy drogues.
Dragon copy.
As you can see with that infrared view, we have 2 healthy drogue parachutes on Dragon. There's a view from Dragon looking up at the drogue chutes.
Those will remain attached to the spacecraft until they help deploy the main parachutes, coming up in just a few moments. Again, these views coming to us from the recovery ship, standing by to recover our crew members once they splash down. Looks like we
It looks like we have main parachute deployment there.
Main chute descent rate nominal.
Dragon copies 1,000 meters.
A beautiful,
Copy 1,000.
beautiful view there from that recovery vessel of Dragon Endurance with those 4 healthy main parachutes. At this point in time, the capsule's going about 119, or was going about 119 miles per hour when those were deployed, and they also deployed about 6,500 feet. So these main parachutes will help slow the vehicle down even further to about
800 meters.
Copy 800.
so that we'll hear from the crew about how far they are above the surface of the water. So there we just heard that call out for 800 meters. The capsule is slowing down further and further. By the time that it actually splashes down, it'll only be going about 16 miles per hour.
It's fascinating to think that just minutes ago, really, they were in outer
600 meters.
space
Copy 600.
and are now just 600 meters above Earth. Again, we are targeting a 9:02 p.m. Eastern Time, splashdown 6:02 p.m. Pacific. So that is the next major milestone for us today, now that we have 4 healthy main parachutes all deployed. Things continue to look good aboard Dragon.
That's right. We're about a little less than a minute and a half away from the crew splashing
meters.
down.
Copy 400 meters.
Once again, we are targeting a splashdown off the coast of Florida near Tampa. So this is what we would consider a Gulf landing.
And those strobes of light on your screen, those are spotlights coming from the recovery vessels as they continue to track Dragon Endurance.
200 meters, crew brace for splashdown.
Copy 200 and braced.
Commander Nicole Mann giving out that call as we are standing by for splashdown off the coast of Tampa, Florida.
There we can see the water surface. Dragon Endurance coming closer and closer. as you just saw, splashdown of Crew-5.
157 days in space.
SpaceX Dragon splashdown. Names have been released.
Copy, Dragon. We concur with splashdown and mains released. Dragon Endurance, on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
There's our first view of that heat shield. Once again, that was the primary decelerator for the Dragon capsule. That's really what helps slow the vehicle down, kind of like a bucketed area there underneath the side hatch. That is the location of where the main parachutes are stored. So all 4 of those main parachutes are tightly packed and placed in that cubby, basically, and we can see water draining from it now. The location of the drogue parachutes is up near where that harness is secured. Personal protective equipment.
Dragon, stand by for a side hatch opening in approximately the next 60 seconds.
I'm looking at Rick right now.
So we can see that those, and there it is, side hatch open on Dragon Endurance.
First time since it was closed last October, sending these 4. Like our egress is beginning with NASA astronaut Josh Cassada, pilot of Dragon Endurance on Crew-5. His first space flight coming home with 157 days.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, that slide, we have a great view of that slide now. Really helps the crew in this egress procedure.
Oh, this is probably Koichi, judging by, I can see that Japanese flag on that team member right there on the right.
Yeah, I think you're right, because it looked like, yeah, that looks like Koichi. It looks like they were pulling from seat 1, so yeah, that would have been Koichi's.
Oh, I can see a
Look
smile
at that
on his
smile.
face.
So it looks like Anna Kikinanen, our cosmonaut on board Crew-5, is about to make her way down the fun slide and egress Dragon Endurance, which once again made its second splashdown.
Roscosmos cosmonaut Anna Kikinanen, our final crew member to egress tonight. Again, her first space flight. She will also have those same medical checks before flying back to Russia.
Look at that smile as well.